Well, we'll take a quick look at how indices have performed on Wednesday as well as how Asian indices have opened on Thursday and what the cues look like for Indian indices. US indices saw a recovery for a second day in a row, and that's a nice recovery to have, especially after that sell-off all the way till Monday of this week. Tuesday onwards, we've seen a good recovery in all three indices. December generally for US indices is the calmest month. However, that has turned volatile this time in particular, especially given Omicron. S&P 500 has gained 24% through this year, and indices have been tested on both fronts this time around in the sell-off running up to Monday. One is, of course, Omicron, and the second is the liquidity withdrawal announced by the US Federal Reserve. The Dow rose around 0.75% in trade and is now less than 1,000 points away from its all-time high. The S&P 500 too closed around over 1% higher in trade and is now less than or just about 1% from its all-time high, and the Nasdaq closed a nice 1.18% higher in trade on Wednesday. So all three US indices on track for a good festive week. And that's a very good handover for Asia as well by US indices. Indices across Europe also continued their recovery. Tech stocks climbed 1.5% in the Pan-European Stock 600 index, while utilities slipped around 0.1%. UK GDP numbers came through. GDP grew 1.1% in Q3, which is for September, and that is below the expectations of 1.3%, but not too far below. The DAX gained a good 0.2%. The FTSE was up 1/3% almost. The CAC was up over 1% in trade, and the Stock 600 was up again 2/3%, replicating the performance of the DAX on Wednesday. Asia, as I did mention, there was a nice handover by the US to Asia, and Asian indices are in the green. Mind you, Asian indices even yesterday were marginally in the green, and we can see green flashing all over at the moment. The Nikkei is up around 1/3% as we speak. The Shanghai is up 1/5%. The Hang Seng up over 0.5%. The ASX 200, the Australian index, is up 0.4%, and the Kospi is also up 1/3% in early trade today. So not just marginal, but a little above marginal, marginally in the green for all these indices. Even the SGX Nifty is looking good. It's up around 0.75% in early trade today as we speak. So a really good set of opening numbers that we can see. Commodities and oil prices rose on Wednesday on fears of tight supply and a drawdown in US inventories. Oil prices are just below that $73 a barrel mark. Gold has climbed marginally on the weaker dollar and has breached the $1,800 an ounce mark. Moving on to currency, the dollar index weakened a bit. It's now just above that 96 mark, and treasury yields are absolutely flat ahead of holidays. In fact, 10-year yields are now at 1.45%, and Bitcoin is also looking quite flat over the last day or so. It's at around US dollars 48,000. That's a roundup from our side of how global markets have moved over the last day or so.